Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Flip. All right. Good morning, Flip. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning for another JasSuccess interview. And today I have the pleasure of introducing to you one of, I'd say, the most successful mompreneurs in the Philippines. We have Ginger Arboleda. Thank you for joining us today, Ginger.
Hi, good morning, Jason. Good morning, Flip. It's a beautiful morning without work for some of us, but we still have work.
for the lucky few,
Yeah.
but we don't know holidays and things like that, so we're still
Yes, I know.
working, but it's all good. It's all good. By the way, guys, for those of you that are watching right now, if you know, I'm just sharing this on my profile. If you know anybody, any, especially moms who want to get into freelancing and want to eventually start their own business in the future, please hit the share button. It's right next to the like comment, which is right next to the comment button, and say hi to us. Say hi. Tell us where you're watching from, so that we can greet you. And if you have any questions for Ginger or for me, please post them in the comments so that we can get them asked on the show. Let's go ahead and dive right into your story, Ginger. You can share how what you were doing before you became a freelancer, and then how you entered the freelancing world, as well as how you got to where you are today.
Okay, so before I got into freelancing, I was in the corporate environment. So I was working for a bank for almost 7 years. And then what happened was I realized that I didn't want to stay in the bank for years. And I was looking at the way I realized it was really weird, because I was looking at the different vice presidents of the company. And then I said to myself that, why is it that I feel that I don't want to be like them in the future? I don't aspire to be, I mean, they're in a good position. They get paid well. People look up to them. People respect them. It seems that they're happy with whatever they're doing as a vice president of the company or as the head of a department. But then I realized that for myself, I wanted so much more. I think it was because way back in 2010, I had miscarriage, and then after the miscarriage, I had some complications in my pregnancy, which led me to have chemotherapy for 2 courses. And then during that period, I realized that I could have died, and that was it was an enlightening moment for me. Like, it was something that urged me to think about my life and to think about the things that I've been doing. And this pushed me to think about looking at things that would give a direct contribution to different people. So this is the reason why that time I was during the time of my miscarriage, I was going through different freelancing sites. I was trying to surf the net, looking for opportunities. And then I came across a site called Odesk, which you all know is already Upwork. So that's when I started working from home. And then I ended up gigs as a freelance writer. And then after a few months, I think 6 months, that's when I realized that since I was doing a lot of article writing, technical writing for different blogs, that's when I realized na, hey, I have a blog and I've been doing it since 2008. And why not focus on blogging so that I could earn from blogging, since it seems that a lot of my clients were earning from blogging. So that's when I focused on my blog, Manila Reviews. And then after that, in 2013, I had my daughter. So I focused on Mommy Ginger, it to where it was today. And in 2013 as well, I resigned from my job. I resigned from my banking job and then pursued a full-time freelancing and a full-time entrepreneurial career. That time in 2012, 6 months prior to the time I resigned, I'm actually creating a lot of workshops for entrepreneurs and freelancers, because it started as a way for me to look at different business opportunities, but then it ended up being my own business, my own, the thing that I wanted to do. And it was also when it was also after just 3 workshops when I realized that this was the thing that I really wanted to do, the thing that would help me get to that feeling of contentment and fulfillment, that I was actually helping a lot of entrepreneurs and freelancers. So that's the story of my life. It was more of, it started with really contemplating about my life in a certain, I think we all get to that moment when we contemplate about our lives and we think if this thing is really what we should do moving forward, or if it's what we want for ourselves.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I do have a couple of questions for you. A lot of the people watching are aspiring freelancers.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you. So you started freelancing in around 2011, is that right?
2010.
2010.
Yes,
Okay.
2010. Yes.
Around 2010. And that's when you went on Odesk. Back then it was Odesk. I was also on Odesk around that time. And you eventually transitioned from being a freelance writer to being an entrepreneur.
Yes, correct.
I guess the first question I have to ask you there is what did you focus on with your writing? Did you focus more on blog article writing?
I did because I think my strength was really in article writing, blog writing, and technical writing. So all of the jobs that I took was really towards that, no, like writing and stuff. So I think I wrote like more than 100 articles before I really went on to focusing on my own stuff.
And for those that are aspiring to become article writers, because right now there's so many blogs opening left and right, there are so many opportunities for blog writers. If someone's watching this interview right now and they say, "Hey, I want to, start becoming a blog article writer," what's the best way that they can start?
I think it's more of practicing first, building your portfolio. Because the best way that you can really show the skill that you have as a blog or article or technical writer is through the work that you've created. So it's really building your skill and building your portfolio step by step. So if you what you can do is go to different sites and then you try to get clients, or even if, for example, go to small startup companies. I think there are a lot of startup companies here in the Philippines, even especially I'm sure your base here, the people who are listening are mostly Filipinos. So what you can do is, if you can't find any job in Upwork or freelancer.com, what you can do, or other sites, not like 199 jobs, what you can do is you can approach the small startup companies and offer to create articles for them, so that you can build your portfolio by doing that. And by doing so, you can up your game, up your skill, and after a while, you can use these articles as your portfolio, and then you can eventually get higher paying clients.
So I'm offering like free blog writing at first for smaller companies.
Yes, for smaller companies. There are a lot of companies here in the Philippines, like 99.6% of the companies here are small business owners. So even if you check, for example, what you can do is you can help them. There are a lot of things that not exactly just for blogs, for their blogs, because some of them really don't have corporate blogs to begin with, but you can also offer like writing articles for the CEO, because we all know that in a small business, the founding members or the CEO, the C-level executives need to build their brand as well. Another thing, you can look at different Facebook pages of these people, try to see if they have correct grammar, or they've written or they've conveyed messages of their products well. You can be a copywriter for that. You can help them write effective copy for their own Facebook pages. So there are a lot of things, even Instagram accounts, there are LinkedIn accounts. You can the thing with writing is you can actually look for different opportunities, not just blog writing, but you can help people lift their brand, or create brand awareness, or talk to their customers in an effective manner by the words that you use. It's all about using the right words and conveying the right message there.
That's some really good advice for any aspiring writer. There are so many opportunities for writing in general. Like you said, not all companies will have a blog, but they will have a website. A lot of companies have a website that you can help with the writing, and also add that to your portfolio to help you figure out which direction you want to take, and for you to show to potential clients as well. So you also had your own blog even before you started doing freelance writing. Is this something that you would recommend to aspiring writers, or do you think going and reaching out to companies is a better route to take?
Well, if it's something that you want to do, then go for it. It really depends on the person. The reason why I went into blogging, or the reason why I became a blogger, is that I really enjoyed writing, and I always mention this to other aspiring bloggers. So if you can't be consistent with blogging, and if you really want to monetize it later on, the key is really consistency. If you know that you can't keep up with the content for your blog because of the other things that you do, obviously, like you have to earn from clients, you have to write for clients. If that's the thing that you want to focus on, then focus on your clients. But if you want to make it big as a blogger, focus on being consistent with your blog. So it really depends on what the person wants for him or herself. And blogging is really is hard work. It's not as easy as you think it seems. Like, a lot of people, I come across people and they tell me, "Ang dali-dali naman ang ginagawa mo." Like my relatives who don't understand, they tell me, "Oh, you just write about it and you get stuff." Or we go to a restaurant, "You just write about this so that we can get a discount." But that's not the point. It's hard work. You have to think about content. You have to learn all of these marketing stuff like SEO writing. You have to learn how to market your blog. You have to learn branding. You have to learn PR. If you really want to make it big, you have to constantly learn about all of these things, and not just that particular skill, which is just writing. So, but it's good practice for people who want to serve clients better. Having your own blog gives you that flexibility of writing what you want, and experimenting and developing still your skill and creativity. So I love having that because it actually keeps me sane. My blog keeps me sane. After a long day's work, after thinking about people's taxes, or about thinking of workshops or building workshops, if my blog is really my it's what keeps me sane. That's it. So it really depends on your objective for your blog.
And you mentioned people's taxes. Just for everybody watching, Ginger. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Taxumo. So Taxumo is a web application. I forgot to mention that, but Taxumo is a web application that helps people prepare, file, and pay for their taxes. So we're talking about freelancers. The market is comprised of freelancers, individuals, solopreneurs, and professionals, and small business owners.
And we're working on some educational content for you guys watching, specifically for freelancers. So stay tuned for that. Going back to what you mentioned earlier, Ginger, regarding your story, So you had a blog in 2008, 2010. You went into freelancing, and then you monetize your blog later on. So would you say that what you learned in freelancing as a freelancer, would you say it was very important, or would you say you learned a lot of lessons for you to really grow your own personal blog?
The thing about entrepreneurship or freelancing is that you have to experiment on certain stuff. There's no clear-cut way of making it big or being successful at a particular field. People like the rock stars that we have, like Sina Nix or John or you know, personally, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people who've successfully done it as well. But all of our stories will be different. All of our journeys will be different. So the what I saw was really with my blogging, it helped me build my own personal brand for myself. That's why I became a blogger, and I've seen also the success of my different clients when I was still doing freelance writing, and it was an inspiration for me to focus on the blog that I had. So that's how I built it. And now my blog, because I still enjoy writing, I still come out with content consistently. It's a way for me to still, as I mentioned, it's a release of any stress that I have. But the second most important thing is that it also helps me build my brand as well. Still helps me. It still helps me build my brand, and not only for myself but for the businesses that I'm involved with. For example, for Manila Workshops, my blog is a big help to that particular business that I have. So that's how I think of these different things that make up the different things that I'm doing. Each one adds value to each one. So if you look at it, it's really a whole egg or a whole product that that I'm creating. It's more of bringing value to entrepreneurs and freelancers in whatever or which way, whichever track that I would do for the specific day. So that's how I saw my blog. It wasn't just I'll blog so that I'll earn, but it was more of I'll blog so that I can provide value to the aspiring entrepreneurs who read my blog, the aspiring freelancers who read my blog, and it's the same case with Manila Workshops, with Taxumo. So it's all about building brand value or building value for the customers.
And that's something that everybody should learn, building value first. That's the really important thing, whether for your clients, whether for the visitors of your website, whether for your customers. It's all about building value. And once you offer value, then that's when you get paid because you offer value.
That's true.
A pretty simple rule, but so many people take it for granted. So we want to remind everybody about that. Now, going back in 2010, you had the miscarriage. I'm sorry to hear about that. But it was a turning point in your life, like that it was a near-death experience that really took you where you are today. Can you share with us what were your realizations at that point? Because we hopefully for those watching, it doesn't take a near-death experience like it did for you. Hopefully they don't have to go through that for them to make this realization. So what were the major realizations that you can share with us?
Okay, first for realizations though, it comes in different points in your life. I guess for me, it came during that point in my life where I was thinking about my life. I think it's because I'm a forward thinker. So I think about my life in the future. So with my daughter, for example, or with my baby, although I really didn't know the gender at that time. But I was looking at life and my realizations were after I pass away. This sounds morbid now, but bear with me. But if you pass away, is there like something that you actually did for others in the community? Yes, it may be your family, it may be your friends, but in your epitaph, normally, what would you want people to say about you? So it was something like that. So I didn't want it to be sort of like self-serving, because I think I was thinking of like moments wherein I would just go to work just for the sake of going to work and just doing tasks. And I didn't want the epitaph to say like hardworking, only like that, or like being a corporate slave or something like that. But I wanted it to be so much more than that. I wanted it to be something like a good mom, a good wife, someone who helped others along the way, something like that. It wasn't as grand as really helping the nation, or help in nation building, but it was something that I would I would have wanted for myself, like, well, way beyond just doing the normal tasks. So those were my thoughts during that time. And when you get to that point, um, I don't know, but there were a lot of things. No, aside from that, there are a lot of things that I really thought of also, like, um, and being a good mom that time, no, but being a good mom or spending time with your daughter and doing all of these things, you learn to see what really matters in your life. You learn how to prioritize. You see which things you need to prioritize. Like all of us, we know, like, as a freelancer, we need to work and strive hard to earn from different clients or earn a living, for our family. But then, is it really to the detriment of spending lesser time with your family, or is it really to that aspect wherein you let go of physical health already, and then just so that you can earn whatever goal that you want to earn? So these were the things that I was really thinking of. And my job that time was not bad. I was in the running for a VP position. I was earning well. Uh, my husband could actually resign also that time, and I could spend for everything. But the point was really not that it. Money, it's not it's not money that makes the well. Money makes the world go round, but it's more than that. It's more than that, really. So there, that's it.
Yeah, and you shared a lot of great insights there. I'm glad that you had those realizations, because we have you right now as I'd say a great asset to the community, to the small
Oh, thank
business and the
you.
freelance community. You're welcome. You're welcome. But the lessons I took from what you shared are, you realize you could do much more than just go to the office and work hard.
Yeah.
You realize there was more to you than that, and I think that that's very common with everyone. With myself, that was common before, and
Yeah.
I had that in common with you before, and everyone watching might also have that feeling where they can, rather than just going to the office, rather than working hard, coming in on time, that they can do so much more. They can leave a legacy. They can be an asset to the community. They can provide value to the community, to the people around them, to businesses, to Filipinos, or even to the world. And secondly, is a priority. And I guess this should come first. That it should be, you should have your priorities straight. Is it
Yeah.
money? Is it working? And for you, it was family. You wanted to prioritize taking care of your daughter, being a good wife, being a good mom, which is why you explored these other avenues, freelancing and then entrepreneurship. So just
Yes.
for just for everybody watching, if you have the same feeling, maybe it's time for you, if maybe that you can do something more, or if you realize that you want to prioritize family, or something else, it may be time for you to make that shift as well, just like Ginger did.
Yeah.
But you didn't resign right away. You didn't, like, in 2010, after the realizations, you didn't just stop going to
No, I
work.
no. No, I wasn't like that. I actually went back to work. That's why, as as I've told you, I resigned in 2013. So it was like 3 years before I actually found something that I enjoyed, something that I really wanted to do. So in 2010, when I went back to work, I was going through the motions and then learning as much as I could from the position that I had before. Then I actually was shifted from product management to product development. So during that span of time, I learned more about developing products, developing different services. So I got all of that learnings, and then in 2013, that's when I decided now is the right time to really jump into being a full-time freelancer and entrepreneur.
Yeah, it could take some time, and for a lot of people, you have to prepare. We had a blog post last week about the 5 things for you to prepare before you quit your job. So you may have the realizations today, but it may take 6 months, it may take a year before you can be ready to leave.
To add to that, Jason, I know that a lot of mompreneurs, for the mompreneurs who are watching and the daddies, you're not just thinking about yourself anymore. You're thinking about your partner. You're thinking about your family already, your kids. So it wasn't a decision that you can make on your own. Possibly, like for single people who are watching, they could actually just jump the gun and do freelancing full time, and risk everything. But it's obviously a risk if you want to go full time on freelancing and full time on a business that you want to start. There are risks involved, and with this, when you're already married and you have someone or kids, even you have to think about them. If they're secure, you have to think about their security, their health, their well-being before you can actually decide on anything for yourself.
The things to think about before you leave. All right. Thank you so much. Now we're gonna go into our quick break, which is our lightning round. So I'm gonna ask. Okay. I'm going to ask some questions. Yep. And just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. Just a reminder for everybody Ginger shared a lot of valuable information. So please hit the share button so that your friends, your family, and especially moms and dads who can do more and want to spend more time with their family, they can learn from this interview we're having with Ginger. So please hit the share button, and then we're going to get to your questions in a little bit. Okay, our lightning round. So in your last job, other than money, what inspired you to keep working there?
I guess the learnings. There were a lot of learnings were handed over to me by my boss. I had a really great boss, by the way, so it was one of the reasons why I just couldn't quit, because I learned so much from him.
Okay, learnings. That's very important to get from work.
Learnings.
Okay. Second question: what age would you want to retire?
44. Very specific. No, I've really calculated, what age I would want to retire.
Okay, 44, specific number.
Yeah.
Do you prefer giving presents or getting presents?
Giving presents.
Giving presents.
I don't have to think about that,
Describe the color yellow to someone who is blind.
It gives you the feeling of happiness, and it's like eating ice cream after and feeling that tingling sensation. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Well, that was really good, right? You really are a writer. Good stuff. And our last question for the lightning round: what's your biggest addiction?
Coffee. I think most of us have that addiction. We're all addicted to coffee. Yep, here.
Right there in coffee bean and tea leaf.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, you're also a pretty avid board gamer, right?
Yes. We love board games. We love playing board games.
Yeah, so we have some here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it.
Oh, yes. I have that. I have 5 tribes. What's the one? What's this? Legacy? Pandemic,
Legacy.
Right? Pandemic. What's the one beside 5 tribes?
Summoner Wars.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that yet.
And then Sherlock, and then Patchwork.
Yeah, we have Sherlock. Yeah. Cool, Jason. You should play with us one of these days.
When I head over to Manila. See guys, this is what people like me and Ginger do. So if you want to be like us, then board games are the answer.
That's true.
All right. Thank you for your answers to the lightning round. That was really good. And let's go to our question and answer portion. We had a lot of people saying good morning, Ailey, Honey. Dang.
Good morning.
Live Great, Eric. Shin. Well, Shin's asking, how many clients do you have right now? If you do have clients still for writing.
Oh, I have contracts for my blog because I really focused on my blog already. I have, how many contracts do I have? I think I have 6 contracts now for Mommy Ginger. So in terms of my freelance work, I've already dropped all of my freelance clients before for freelance writing. I'm now focusing on building Mommy Ginger. So there. So I have 6 contracts. Some of them, well, each of the contracts naman end at different times. So I already have one for next year, and some of them are ending at different times throughout 2018. Yeah.
And these are like sponsors for the blog.
Yes, sponsors. I already get direct sponsors. I work with PR agencies, ad agencies. Yeah, so that's how I earn now. It's really through direct sponsorships from different brands.
Okay, that's great to hear. So you have 6 clients for the website, right?
Live.
Now. Oh, in connection with this, I was going to ask this earlier.
Okay.
And a lot of people are going to have this question in their minds, but how long did it take for you to make money from your blog? Or from blogging in general?
Yeah. I started way back in 2008. And then I remember my first client was a big brand who sponsored us. I think that was 2009. So it took me like a year before I found one big advertiser who would sponsor our blog. But for Mommy Ginger, it was a breeze. I think it was because I've already built my blog, my brand from the previous blog, which was Manila Reviews. So I've been doing Manila Reviews since 2008. So when I introduced Mommy Ginger in 2013, I already knew the different challenges that bloggers would encounter. And I already knew what to do with Mommy Ginger. So I built a brand. So what's today? 2017. So in 4 years, actually in just 2 years, I doubled the amount that I was earning from Manila Reviews with just Mommy Ginger. So now I'm actively writing for Mommy Ginger, and I don't really focus on Manila Reviews anymore. So I really focus now on Mommy Ginger.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. 1 year before monetizing is pretty good. And is it significant enough for a significant amount of money within a year? Or
it is actually for Mommy Ginger, as I mentioned, 2013. I was just starting my Manila Workshops, diba, as a business, and then last year we started Taxumo. So it really helps with the finances of both companies. So as you know, like when you start a business, ROI or return on investment isn't really overnight. So you have to wait for like a year or so. And it was through blogging that I actually earned a lot to keep my business afloat there. So I'm still doing that now. That's why it was a big help in the finances of the family.
Okay, that's great to hear that Mommy Ginger is able to sustain that with that blog. Malin saying, parang hirap naman talaga maging blogger/writer. It's not that easy what it seems. Saludo ako sa mga exemplary talent to write. And Alea is saying, true, ang hirap maging blogger. So people just reiterating how difficult it is. Jose Marzo, hi, Ms. Ginger, Sir Jason. For aspiring writers, is it advisable first to write a blog for yourself to establish your personal brand?
Well, you can do that, no? You can do that if you want to practice. There are a lot of, it really depends on the objective kasi for starting the blog. If you want to practice or if you want to establish your brand for yourself, then blogging is a good way to do it. There are other avenues where you can build yourself. I'm not just talking about, blogging is how I did it, but you can also create a Facebook page for yourself where you share your thoughts. No, you don't necessarily have to have a blog. You can also do vlogging if you don't really well. This for this person, he's a writer naman, no, I assume. But for those who can't write well, you can do vlogging. So you can create a YouTube channel, or you can just create videos on Facebook which you can share and share knowledge. So there are different ways on which you can build your brand. But if you love writing, then yeah, sure, start a blog.
Yeah, I guess if it really is something that you love, like you said, but if you're just doing it because like you want to make money or something like that, it won't succeed. Short answer.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Ali. Oh, she's moved from PR and communications to online communications.
Okay.
Congratulations. Truly relate to prioritizing on family. Clarissa, Zika or EJ? Clarissa Nakila is asking.
Zika or EJ? Lightning question. Okay, for both. I can't choose.
They come as a package.
But if there are like situations where Zika needs help and then EJ needs help, obviously I will tend to Zika first because she can't fend for herself. So my daughter first in situations like those.
Your husband he can handle himself.
I'm sure he'll understand.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So how do you, and if you guys have any additional questions, please ask them in the comments below. We'll keep fielding Q&A questions. I do have this question. How do you deal with writer's block?
Oh, I take a vacation. Really. I go on a staycation here, or I just tell my husband that I need to go to a coffee shop or just roam around, go window shopping, look for new facial care products. But really, it's about time for yourself first, getting that time for yourself, not thinking about work first, not even thinking about the topic that you want to write about, or thinking that you're in that moment that you don't have anything that you want to write about. It's more about looking for inspiration, trying to see what's out there, observing people. I love observing people. So that's a source of like inspiration for me. Just not dealing with the stress first, not thinking about it, and then later on when you go back, you'll feel more refreshed, because sometimes that's why you encounter that. No, it's because you're so stressed, you think about it too much, that you don't actually get to think about it, that you don't actually find that topic that you want to write about. So it's more about finding time for yourself first, and not thinking about that, and then getting back into the groove again. Possibly later towards the day, or the next day.
So when you're, just to clarify, when you like go on a staycation or you go to a coffee shop, you try to empty your mind of the topic. Like you have, okay, I need to write for the blog, and then you go there, and then but you shouldn't even be thinking about that at all.
Yes, don't think about it. Don't think about the blog, or don't think about the topic that your client wants you to write about. Just be there and be intentional with whatever it is that you're doing. For example, you're eating in a buffet. Just focus on the food and focus on the conversations, and then don't focus on work. Don't think about work. Don't think about blogging or writing. Just think about the food and enjoy it there.
Because the most common problem that people have is how to stop thinking about the issue at hand. Do you have any tips for that?
Well, it's a decision. It's really an intentional decision not to think about it. So try to distract your mind from all of these things, and try to like listen to music. I don't know what you guys love doing, but for us, we play board games at times. So I can't, obviously, for those who play board games, you know that it's hard to have your laptop on while playing and thinking about strategies during the board game. So Yeah, so find something that you love doing. Find something that you love doing, and then don't think about work. And then you know that it's gonna be there anyway after you've spent time with yourself, with your family.
And I guess one thing is find your escape, because I have certain escapes, I guess, like board gaming.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
read a book, when I watch a show, but it takes my mind off anything else because you have to focus on
Correct.
these other things. So that's one way of doing it. Like when I board game, you have to focus naman on your next
Yeah,
move.
diba? Exactly. So how can you think about the topic that you write about when you're thinking about strategies? Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, find your escape, and then you can do that to get your mind off things. Good, great advice. And then you can always go back. Lord Erlin de los Santos is asking, how do you manage your time? At the moment, I'm a full-time employee with an 8-hour job,
Okay.
full-time mom of 2 grown boys, and I also run a small business. I'm getting crazy thinking which to prioritize. We all know that it's very important to earn money. I'm at the time of my life where I want to earn at the same time be a little bit free. I'm envious of people who can do that, do what they want, but also being able to survive all the expenses.
I think the first thing that you need to think about is developing a system that works for yourself. So, what do I mean by a system? So, for example, for your small business, look at different tasks uh, that make up your business. No? So for example, in a business, you have operations, you have marketing, you have legal or the business component, financials. Look at where you can actually outsource a specific project or a specific task to a person that you really trust, and the person that can get the job done, and then try to outsource these tasks little by little. So after that, you're free of anything, no, when it comes to the business aspect. All you need to do now is think of the bigger picture, steer the direction of the company, and focus on that. Focus on growing it, making it sustainable. So that's what the CEO or business owner should do anyway for the business. Next is for the, what does she have pa? The little boys, no? She's a mother of
Boys,
2 boys.
full-time job, and small business.
Oh, for the full-time job, well, you really have to do that by yourself because no one can come in for you. So focus on that during the times that you're inside the office, and make sure that if it's an 8 to 5 job, leave at 5, finish all of your tasks, or most of it, no, or the tasks that you prioritize for a particular day, and then leave at 5, go home, spend time with your family, and then once they're asleep, you can check on the work or your business, or on weekdays, weekends, you can check on your business. So for me, it's more about trying to compartmentalize each and every aspect of your life. You can't, and being intentionally there for that particular compartment. For example, if you're in work, you can't be dabbling on your business if it's not during the break. So if you want to dabble into your business stuff, your stuff with regard to your business stuff, you can do it during breaks. You can do it during lunchtime. And then when you go home, you can set aside time for your family first. Like cook for them dinner, and then have like an hour of one-on-one time with your kids, right? With your husband even, and then after that, go again to your business. So, ganun ako eh. Well, that's how I do it. No? That's how I do it. So, like for today, I knew that I was gonna wake up early because of the pest control in my building, which I totally forgot yesterday. So I had to wake up. I wanted to run, but then yun nga, I forgot that it's today. So I had to prepare for that, and then now Zika is with the dad. So after this, I'm going there because today is actually family day for us later this afternoon. And yesterday was also family day. Tomorrow I'm gonna get back to work, so it's work naman for me. So that's how I sort of schedule my life. No?
Oh yeah, and priorities are very important.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree. Setting up a system that you can do consistently is really key to
Yes.
to figuring out managing your time, managing your life, managing everything that's going on. We have a couple of people asking about how to get started working online. We do have a free course for those that want to learn about going on Upwork. Used to be Odesk. That's where I started in Odesk.
Yeah.
Ginger started in Odesk. Now it's Upwork. So we do have that free course over on freevacourse.com. I'm giving you guys the link in the comments here.
Okay.
I love to write, have no idea about blogging. Is there, Grazie. She loves to write, but has no idea about blogging or how to do it. Is there any capital required? I guess how to start a blog, like capital and setting things up. Not really techie, but looking for ways to earn from home.
Okay, so you can start with free sites, no? Like WordPress.org is free. But I already use WordPress.com. You can use Blogger. You can use Squarespace, but I think there is a monthly fee for that.
Yeah,
Squarespace, Wix, Weebly. There are a lot of resources online. Also, with Manila Workshops, we have a few blogging workshops. Although we're already planning for next year, so most of the workshops will be for next year already. No? So we also have that. We're also planning an online course for bloggers or aspiring bloggers like you. So just read about it first. There are a lot of free sites where you can start and practice first.
Good. Hello, Eric Aquino, Eric Tunes Aquino. Hello po, wala
Hi,
kasi
Eric.
ako alam sa marketing. Ano po pwede ko gawin para makita ng tao sa service ko through social media? Need ko ba mag-aral din or kumausap tao to market my service?
The thing with Eric, I'm familiar with Eric's products. No, the thing about Eric's products, it's very visual. So good job, Eric, kasi I've been seeing your videos. Also, that's a good way. Kasi if it's something visual that you're trying to sell, it's really promoting it visually. Also, that works. No, so continue lang doing your videos. We'll fix your Facebook page. Kasi yung kanyang Facebook page is the art of Eric eh. So medyo mahaba. So I suggest do it na lang na parang Eric Tunes as well. He knows that. I told him na. But yeah, continue lang kasi success naman again isn't achieved overnight. So with every experiment that you create, try to learn from each thing. No? And I think he's already doing Facebook ads. I'm not sure, but I know he was asking about that. So Facebook ads is also an affordable way of marketing your services. And always be present, no, where your market is at. So you have to identify which market you really want to target and be there. Because the thing about us is that minsan, we just market without really thinking of where our market is. So for Eric, try to identify who your target market is and where they are. I try to look at where they are, and then market them using whatever media or medium that is available at that specific point in time, or so that they can actually see it there.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, for Eric's marketing, I saw the video that you made, Eric. You can use, and you were just like recording from your phone, but you can use a screen recorder like Loom is a free screen recorder, so you don't have to record from your phone. And I would recommend posting your art on sites like Instagram, Pinterest. Dribble, I think, would be a good place for you, since those are very picture image focused and visual focused kind of stuff. That's where I would primarily put my stuff, together with Facebook ads and Instagram ads as well. Joyce Lim is asking, because you work alone, or you primarily work alone, do you have a mentor or blogger that inspires you?
A mentor or blogger? Well, I've always been fascinated with the strategies of Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield, because she's a marketing girl, Natalie Sisson, all of these women entrepreneurs and freelancers, no? And I also love dun naman sa males, no? Pat Flynn, obviously, Pat Flynn, who else? Neil Patel, because of SEO and content stuff. So these are the guys that I follow. These are my idols, really, and I think it's more of they're my idols because I see the strategies that they employ and that it actually works for them, and um and I love experimenting on things. So whatever they say, I just experiment, and I know that it won't. Some of them won't work for me, but I'd love to see kasi which works for me. So some of the strategies that they mentioned work for me, some don't. But it's more about they just have, like for example, for Neil, no, I love that he measures everything really well. Like he's very keen into like focusing on monitoring the metrics. Pat Flynn, ganun din, monitoring his income even to that extent. Marie, what I like about her is that she's a PR girl. She knows her brand, she understands the audience, and she converses with them really well, really effectively. No? Amy Porterfield naman, she's my goddess in terms of like marketing. Anything about marketing, she knows, and I guess it's because she loves talking to people as well. Because she has her podcast and she talks to other people and gets to learn from each individual that she interviews. And for Natalie Sison, it's all about, she inspires me because of her lifestyle. Since she travels and works, and she can work from anywhere in the world, and she talks about documents her travels and how she works from each area. So that's actually how I want to build my life now. Like getting different aspects from these successful freelancers and entrepreneurs and trying to see which will work for me.
Yeah, for reference for everybody, Natalie Sison, I don't know how to pronounce Sison or Sison.
Sison,
Sison, because Sison's Filipino, right? So
Sison
she's not, she's not Filipino. It's Sisson.
Yes.
Natalie Sison, Marie Forleo, Forleo, and Amy Porterfield. Yeah, these are some great women marketers and entrepreneurs that a lot of moms and women can follow. They're some really good inspirations. Antoinette Garcia Gopez. I've been in the BPO company for 3 years, but lately I've decided to have a home-based job. What can you advise for us first-timers that want to start? VA, blogger, or data entry? So first-timer.
First-timer. It's a totally different world that you're in right now. So the mindset that you have, siguro no, when you were still working is you get tasks done because sinabi ng boss mo, and you have deadlines that you need to fulfill, not to follow. And tasks are given to you readily because obviously your bosses, their boss, no, split tasks between like different agents or different people. But now it's all about you. You're the one who's gonna tell yourself what you need to achieve for the day. You're the one who's gonna motivate yourself and drive yourself to accomplish tasks. You're the one who's in control of your time. So that's the first thing that you need to realize early on, that there's no one there to tell you what to do at any point in time and no one to give you deadlines. So you have to be proactive with everything that you're doing right now. You have to be proactive in marketing yourself. You have to be proactive in fulfilling all of the needs of your clients. So ganun siya. Iba yung mundo na ginagalawan mo. That's the main thing that I want to impart with you now that you've newly discovered this world and you're a part of it. You'll realize na iba pala talaga. Iba yung drive that you need to have. It's different when you're working with other people, with colleagues as well. You have people that you can talk to. But if you're working online, it's just yourself inside the comforts of your home, but you're alone, diba? So, but there are people that you can talk to online anyway. So different lang in that sense, no? But it's more about knowing yourself and motivating yourself.
Yeah, and that mindset shift is the first thing that needs to take place. My advice is start off as VA. That's why I teach being a virtual assistant first before anything else. And like Ginger said, there are people online. We have freelancers in the Philippines. We have our community. There are also other Facebook groups that you can join. We do have several meetups. Like if you're in Manila, we have Makati, Quezon City, Baguio, Alabang meetup coming in the next couple of weeks. We have one in Cebu, we have one in Cagayan. So you can definitely meet other people. You know, if you're not working at home yet, if you're not a freelancer yet, I suggest you attend these meetups so that you can meet people who do this every day and get inspiration from them.
Yeah, going back pala to that question, Jason, I just thought about kasi the time that I shifted from corporate work to being a freelancer and an entrepreneur. It was really lonely during the first 3 months. And walang day siguro na lumagpas that I didn't tell my husband that I wanted to go back to work. Kasi I'm a workaholic, and having nothing to do literally for like some hours in the day I felt that I was gonna go crazy. So ganon eh. Yun eh. So it's really about knowing also why you're doing it for yourself and trying to motivate yourself to basta gawin mo lang, just go on with this kind of life. Try to learn from it. Kasi iba talaga eh. And what will make you fail is really that eh. If you don't know why you're doing it, and if you're not motivated enough to pursue it.
Totally agree. We'll ask, it's past 11, so we'll ask one more question and then we'll go to some advice from Ginger. So Ruel Valverde's question about structures and marketing strategy. I know that there is no one size fits all strategy, but do you have basic structure as how to launch and market your client's business?
Oh, okay. Sorry, can I tell them, Jason, about I have a course that I developed with EJ. It's called Marketing for Non-Marketers. And it's a foundation course. Kasi what I've noticed about the Philippine landscape now, we have experts in email marketing, content marketing, SEO, technical writing, PR even. And not a lot of people teach the foundations of marketing. So we've come up with this online course that we created because of that purpose. You have to understand what marketing is and how to define like certain target markets, defining the need, defining your product and services, really, what makes you stand out in this industry. And then when you know that foundation, it's really easy now to experiment and go into specifics. So the strategies that you deploy, like content marketing or email marketing, it will now be, it wouldn't matter now, just as long as you have that solid foundation of what marketing is, and if you have your own marketing plan for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So for that person, if you don't want to attend the online course, it's okay. But be sure that you understand your customers well. That's number one. Next is have a plan and define your objectives or your metrics, the metrics that you want to monitor. Kasi ako, I'm a numbers person, so I really want to monitor the results of a certain strategy. Kasi how well a strategy is, it really depends on the metrics that you monitor. So metrics person talaga ako. So but the most important thing really is to understand your market, because that's where you define the need and then you convey the message that will address the need.
That's right. It's all about understanding the market first before anything else. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for asking your questions. And thank you, Ginger, for being very open and answering them. Do you have what's your final piece of advice for all our listeners today and those that are going to be watching the replay, aspiring freelancers, aspiring entrepreneurs?
I think it's more about analyzing, having time to meditate and having time to think about, not really meditating that you just sit now, but think about your life. Think about why you have been doing the things that you're doing. Think about the bigger picture, no? Not just the daily tasks. Now you have to accomplish it and you have to fulfill deadlines and stuff like that, no? But think about your life as a whole. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? What do you want for the people that you love? And try to see if there is a specific need that you can address so that you can actually achieve that particular purpose in your life. So there, it's more about really looking inside rather than looking outward first. Before you can look outward effectively, you have to look internally first.
Look internally first. I definitely agree with that. That's a great note to end on. It all starts with yourself, your mindset, your
Yes.
priorities before anything else. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching and staying on. We had like 100 something people watch
Thank
today.
you, guys.
And
Thank you for the questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you,
shared,
Jason.
thank you. Shared a lot of golden nuggets, a lot of great information. You're definitely an inspiration for aspiring freelancers and entrepreneurs and super moms. So if you guys, I'd really appreciate if you guys shared this. If you got anything, we're doing this for free. So if you got value from this interview, please hit the share button. Especially if you have people on your Facebook, on your friend list who are moms who want to spend more time with their family, or even dads who want to spend more time with their family, aspiring writers, aspiring freelancers, aspiring entrepreneurs. Please share this with them so that they can learn more from someone who's been doing it successfully, like Ginger. For those that haven't started freelancing yet but want to start freelancing, check out our freevacourse.com. It's freevacourse.com, which will teach the basics about getting started working online as a freelancer. We also have our Facebook group, Freelancers in the Philippines, for all freelancers and if you want to meet other people. And tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I'll be doing a live session, our Just Learn It session. It's kind of like a webinar. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be talking about how to become a writer. So perfect timing with. Once again, thank you so much. And you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.